Guys, welcome back to Richmond, Virginia. Davis Auto Sales here. 72 Ford Bronco today. We brought y'all a couple videos in the past on this one, but I don't think we ever started it up, and I know we didn't ever take it for a drive. So that's what we're going to do today. We left the tire shine off the tires. We didn't want to sling it all over the truck. But this truck is a perfect Velocity built Bronco. 1972. Flawless inside, flawless outside, and yes, it is $200,000. Believe it or not, that is about a $75,000 to $80,000 discount from what this truck would cost you. Crazy money, crazy times, but with the effort that goes into this, and if you have not researched Velocity, and again, we're not associated with them in any way, shape, or form, but they did a very fair transaction for this customer that bought this from them. Then we took it over, put our personal touches, and here it is. So I think it's about 1,300 miles on it. It does have the power folding steps. The thing I like about this one is, with them you can go with like a Roadster Shop chassis. This has a factory chassis. We just had somebody actually message this morning, which reminded me to do a video on this truck. This is a factory Ford Bronco chassis, so I feel like at the end of the day, this is a better bring you back to old school times. Of course, the chassis is the only thing that's still original. Everything else, every nut, every bolt, everything's been replaced. Everything's been powder coated. It has a much better riding suspension. We changed out the shocks. We changed out the tires and wheels. A couple other little trinkets he wanted done to make it his own. And you say, okay, why is he getting rid of it? But this is a customer that just changes his mind like most of us change underwear. It's his hobby. He doesn't hunt, he doesn't fish, he works 14, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, and he's done very well for himself. We're very lucky to have customers like that, a lot of customers like that actually, but this one here, we're texting with him all the time, we're talking with him all the time, and not a month goes by we don't build him something, sell him something, do some trading. I'm talking about boats, golf carts, ATVs, custom trailers, anything this man wants, we handle for him, and he's part of the family. So this is his Velocity Bronco. It is up for grabs. He's had his fun. He priced it amazingly because, again, you can look on the website and see he's in the $265 range, I think, for the Bronco. The upgrades with us, the shipping. He did the family cage. I don't think I mentioned that. That is a custom cage. It is a 10-speed transmission, and it is a out-the-crate Ford motor. Everything is computerized. Everything is perfect. It idles in traffic with no problems. The AC is ice cold. The heat's hot. The truck does everything it's supposed to do. So we're going to take it for a ride. Oh, one more thing before we get in it. I'm going to show you guys. This even stumped me, but it's pretty cool. So you look at this door panel, everything's great, you know, nice little pocket, much better than it was. But you look at the manual windows, right? Oh, all this money, why would you not upgrade that? But as soon as you go to crank it, it's power. So slick. I went to grab it the other day to roll it down and move it out of the warehouse. I love it. It's amazing. So many little creature comforts like that. Just like the gauges, they all look factory correct, but they are all in time, proper, and it even has a digital odometer. Fitted floor mats, the family cage. Again, if you guys are Bronco guys, you know what that means, or Jeep guys. It does also have the Jeep style top. You can also take the doors off if you choose to, but with the top on it, yeah, it looks great, but this is the way to drive and enjoy this thing. Rock the windows down. Beautiful day like today where it's, you know, not 150,000 degrees, but even if it is, run the AC. Let's take this thing for a spin. Well, first off, let me fire it up while you're out there, Christian, so everybody can hear how good it sounds. And that's not just some regular old Ford motor. That is a Coyote motor. So no, Christian's going to be nice and sweaty over there. So we're going to kick on a little AC here so we can keep our windows up for a nice drive. And a nice drive it's going to be. window motors replaced, all your hardware is replaced, all LED lights, and not just LED lights, rigid lights, which in our industry are definitely the best that you can think of, the best you can use. We've had them things submerged underwater on some of our ATVs. Heck, one of them sat underwater for 24 hours and the lights still worked. Nothing else worked, but it still worked. So the 10-speed glides right through the gears. The Coyote motor's got a crazy amount of power. And this is the first time I've physically taken this Bronco for a ride other than around the block and just to take it on and off the trailer. We got a little spot over here. Hopefully we can zip in real quick and have a nice little leisurely ride. So I come from there where these Broncos were basically new. My dad would have them when they were several years old. And this was honestly a poor man's SUV because a Jeep Grand Wagoneer was the real deal. Like, that is, if you had money, that's what you bought. Weirdly enough, we have a couple of those for sale right now too. My dad bought them, fixed them up, they would rust out, so many different things. But to have one like this to drive and enjoy today, and again, the biggest comment everybody has is these things, and the Blazers too. The Blazers are bringing more money than these are right now, believe it or not. So this might not be the best driveway to go down. This is a beautiful place. We're going to bring you guys. I just got permission to go back in here to do some videos and pictures. This is actually a wedding venue, but I don't want to drive this on the gravel road, especially not with it being a little wet out today. We'll go a different way. Very fortunate to have so much different commerce around here. But anyway, back to the Broncos. It's so impossible to find one. The donors and people bark about pricing. If you took the time and priced the motor, priced the trans, priced a frame off restoration, and I'm not talking about doing it at home. Anybody can say, I can do something for cheaper at home. You know, I can take anybody's profession. I could be a roofer tomorrow. I could be a painter tomorrow. I could be a siding guy tomorrow. And sure, I can save some money. Like, I can go to Home Depot and I can do it myself. But that's not what I do for a living. So for guys that talk about doing their own Broncos or doing their own restorations or doing whatever it is on their own, you got to take that out of the equation. If you sent this to a shop, and we have a car that I hopefully am going to get, and I'm going to be able to bring you guys a great receipt to understand what some things cost, but we've got a Chevelle that I'm working a deal on. The man paid $100,000 for the car. The receipt for the things he did to the car were over $100,000 on a receipt for a shop. And there's a vacant area back here. I thought this place was occupied. But either way, so that's $200,000 in a car that I'm gonna be able to sell for $100,000. So, you know, you take into consideration what the time cost, what the effort is to put into it, and for this, for Velocity, when you can buy one of these that's done and they've already thought of everything, the creature comforts. We just drove this thing down kind of a back road. It wasn't rattling, it wasn't shaking, it wasn't death wobbling. Every part of the suspension's fresh. Nice console, which is at a good height. Cup holders, the twin stick shifter, so you can go high, low, front, back. That's more of your rock crawling guys, but you know, you're not going to use that in this. You're just going to put them both in high, put them both in low, and lock it in, lock your hubs. The differentials have been rebuilt. The whole braking system is new. The whole body and paint is new. It's kind of a cement gray. It's actually a Porsche color, we found out. The paint coat is in the manuals and documents. The very plush seats. The fit, again, the windows. I mean, look at that. I mean, that might as well call it high speed. It's great. Nice rear view mirror with the auto dimming built in, just like a new Ford. I mean, this thing has the features like you're driving in your new 2024 Raptor Bronco or whatever you want to call it. I think this power is about the same as what that is. The speedometer, I just noticed, is also digital. It's the first time I've noticed that. Also, your park and your drive and your reverse indicator is digital. We're right at 1,350 miles on this vehicle. Most of those miles are put on by Velocity because they do take the time when they finish a build, kind of like ourselves, to put miles on a vehicle, to re-torque the things, to go back over them, make sure that they're all fit and finished properly. there's a lot to be said for that. When a human hand's working on a vehicle, you can forget a bolt, you can forget a nut. So many things can happen. And having an extra set of eyes, having 2 extra set of eyes, whatever, going over it makes a big difference. Pretty excited about this one, fellas. The tires and wheels, if you do not like this combination, we can surely put something different on it. A lot of people like a much more mild tire and wheel, which is what Velocity uses. You'll notice they got all the round hole modular style wheels. Nothing wrong with that. This guy just loves the American forces. We ordered these before he even had the Bronco in his possession. Matter of fact, the Bronco came to our possession first. That's how much he believes in us. He sent the Bronco to us to have everything gone over, make sure it was perfect. And there was one little glitch, but I will say Velocity jumped right on it. It was no problem. We found a couple things we snugged up. It was no big deal. That's pretty neat too. So it's telling me it's low on fuel. It's got a fuel buzzer, and sure enough, it's got a fuel light, and all that works. So we'll go stop and put a little premium in it. They do recommend premium in these trucks. That would get a little bit obnoxious, but it is a fuel level sensor going off. So thanks, guys. That's all for today on this one. I hope you enjoy this Bronco. If somebody's a serious buyer, this is a serious deal. I don't know how to put it into any other words. Turn it off real quick so we don't have to listen to that. Not gonna find one that you can buy and enjoy tomorrow, much less wait time. I think Velocity, like anywhere else, they're probably a year to 16 months out on builds. So unless you buy a build that's already completed, this is probably the only way to get a good deal. I'm watching for the green light. So fires right up. I mean, just like talking about. Of course, that's the beauty of fuel injection. Let's get down on a little here. Rips pretty good. So, and you can control the steering wheel the whole time. That's pretty amazing, because if you ever had a Bronco such as this, they're not the best handling vehicles in the world by any means. So thanks, guys, we appreciate it. That's all we really got on this one. We'll bring you a couple more today. It's a semi-cloudy, rainy day, so hopefully get you some content. If there's anything you guys have seen in the background, any of these videos you want to know more about, we're trying to save some of the real good stuff for the podcast to come. But we'll be glad to drop you anything. Matter of fact, I got one across the street there, my personal Super Duty. Some I've seen in the past, but bring you some content on that one pretty soon too. So thanks again, guys. Davis Drives, Davis Auto Sales in Richmond, Virginia. This Bronco is for sale, and somebody's gonna get an amazing new vehicle. And we gotta get some gas. We're out of time. Thanks, guys.